Okay, see, Galen's got Parkinson's, 6mm Napoleonic. I'm holding the camera, which might explain if it's wobbling like bonkers, and I do apologise. The clue is in the title. I'm trying to give you a good view. These are the Russians at the moment, all arriving on the field. There we go. Let's have a look what we've got here. More Russians, huh? Coming down in column towards that town you can see there in the distance. I don't want to mess about with the focus because I'll mux it up. There's all sorts of random officers wandering about as well because I don't know where to put them. They will slowly, in time, take over units. They're going to advance down the main part of the battlefield. So the Russians have deployed in groups. So they've got a group here with a commander whose main objective is to take the farm. There's the French in the distance. And we've got a main Russian attack. It's going to be focused on this very large town where the French are approaching. Kutuzov and his command headquarters are there. The Russians have also got all of their light cavalry and horse artillery as a separate section, and then they've got a unit over here including Cossacks who are going to take, they hope, the town over there that's out of focus. Take the town that's out of focus, lads. Oh, okay. If I can get a good view of the battlefield from above, you'll see that there are roads, but if you can't take that town, you can't use the roads. So that town is vital, and that's really the French are going to focus everything on that town. So let's come over here now. We've got French left flank. We've got the French centre. French headquarters there is actually a keyring from Land's End. That little black dot on the chimney used to have a keyring sticking out of it, and I pulled it off. We went on holiday to Land's End. It's good, Land's End. You drive through Devon into Cornwall, and the sea gets nearer and nearer the sides until it just, and you fall off. You're at Land's End. And we were there for a week, and the best thing I bought was that £2 keyring. Nobody understood. And then we've got French unit here, going to secure the windmill. And then we've got a large French unit over here, who are hoping to deny the Russians access to the town. Because like I say, the road comes down here. That's the big crossroads. French position back here, Russian positions over there. Another road off here, like that. And that's the battlefield. 6mm Napoleonic. There's a couple of different makes, but they all look very similar, don't they? The rules I use are Shaco, 2nd edition. I think for this sort of scale, Shaco works well. Some games, some people are not mad keen on Shaco. I get it, I understand, but it works well for a grand battle of this scale. It's nice and simple. Everything happens easily. It's got a nice sequence of movement, and you know, everything is logical, which is great. That's what you want. So I think the main advantage of 6mm Napoleonic has to be, well, twofold possibly. The epic look of them when they're done. It'd be hard to get a battle that looked as effective as this at 28mm. I mean, this is only a 3-foot by 4-foot table, remember. If you've got a small table and haven't got much room, you can get an awful lot of action on here. I've made my scenery quite linear, so you'll find, where can I find it? Oh, that's a good place. Yeah. So the terrain, the boards for the woodland is cut exactly to match the size of 4 infantrymen. And if you want to put men into a woodland like this, you just take the trees out and the men fit inside where the trees were. And then if you want it to look a bit fuller, you can pop the trees back in, which is something I like. It's like that piece there, look. Where are we? There you get lots of men on there. Put a couple of them on. Woodland again. Same with the church. There's the church. Gravestones and everything. Lift that up, you can just put your troops on. And if you zoom in, oops, I've even got little things like a grave digger in there, and we've got farmers, we've got cattle that you've probably seen as I zoomed around. Oh, nice big battle, lots of terrain. The buildings are similar, like for the towns. I haven't made permanent towns. I've just got a piece of MDF, and again it's cut. Everything's in sort of inches, so the men's board is 1 inch. The big towns are 6 inch, then 4s, and then 2s. And then to make the town, I've got a centre area and some people. Throw on a few random buildings. Town. This one I particularly like, this sort of thing. So it's a red brick. The red brick is just from a model railway shop. And then we've got some MDF, stuck grey brick on that side. Putting that in the middle. And then the statues I made are just cavalrymen. That's the cavalryman on a penny. And he's all painted grey. I've got some that are sort of bronze. A few random railway people from N-gauge railways. Just trying to see if I can see the grave digger. Oh, he's there. I'm moving on the grave digger. There, look. There he is. Even got a little shovel. I like doing things like that. I know it's all a bit bonkers, but there you go. There's a chap down there, look, by that house. Zoom in on him. Little fella there sat on a bench watching his cattle. I won't be able to find it today, I don't think, but one of these tiny little horses, and I stress I did all this before I had Parkinson's, but one of the horses I actually put with grass in his mouth because he was eating grass. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to find him. But there you go. And, you know, when I was painting, I think those... Ooh, focus. I think those cavalrymen there look pretty beautiful. Those chaps with the red plumes. And then on the bottoms, I write down who they are. Second cuirassiers. Oh, that's another thing in this battle. Because the French are attacking the Russians have Pavlov grenadiers, but I'm not putting them on the field. I'm keeping them in reserve. Because as a campaign game, I don't want the Russians to lose too much, because it's going to affect what happens next. So, there we are. 10 minutes, I think, sort of a quickie. Hope the cameras worked. Hope the films worked. Hope you've enjoyed watching. All right, well, you know what I'm going to say now, don't you? Ta-ra, Chuck.